Alright, folks, so this is Acid Roots. So I'm gonna talk about some songs by musicians that came out but were not necessarily as good as they could have been because they didn't have the artist that they needed to have on there. Now, some of these are a part of rap groups, other times they're solo albums, but the solo artist is not on the song that's on the solo artist album. For example, like Dr. Dre's 2001, this has a song on there that Dr. Dre himself is not on, and it's a nuisance that that is the case. But I've got 5 of these songs. So sometimes this happens where you think, yeah, this song is a finished product, and yeah, it's on an album that you can go out and buy in stores. But the problem with it is for the most part, I'd have to say that there's no editing and going back to it and saying, okay, let's put this musician that everyone complained about on there, because that's kind of the thing. In some cases, it's physically impossible to do because one of the musicians I'm talking about is deceased. So that's kind of the thing. But we'll go ahead and get started with that. You'll begin to see what I mean as I talk about it. So the first song is Pistol Pistol. Off of D12's Devil's Night. So right when you hear, Eminem started doing this a lot more later on, where he started fading away from being on songs with D12. And I think it's kind of like an imbalance, just because it seemed like D12 was maybe somewhat jealous of Eminem's overnight success, and they wanted success to the point where people don't dislike D12 songs just for Eminem. And I get that in some cases, but it seems like they really get furious about this kind of thing and they defend it, and they're pretty like cagey about it. But one of the first songs I noticed that Eminem basically should have been on, and I don't care if you want to say, oh, he's on the hook. I don't care, he should have dropped the verse. That's the part of the song that he needed to be on. But Pistol Pistol, perfect beat. It's real slinky, real kind of just dangerous sounding, and one of the best beats in my opinion on Devil's Night. But there's no Eminem verse to be found. He does a wicked job on the chorus, and that's how I knew that if he would have dropped a verse on Pistol Pistol, he would have torn that song up. And that's the basic thing there. It's, I listened to some of them. Yeah, Proof is on the song, and it's not to discredit the rest of D12, but there's like a gaping wide hole from Eminem not dropping a verse. And it's understandable the first time that happened, just because it's kind of like, damn, where's Eminem? And that's kind of the point that you're supposed to make. But Eminem really started doing that on D12 World and later releases by D12. So it's kind of a disappointment. Number 2, Explosive from the Chronic 2001. This is off of Dr. Dre's 2001. Really sounded like California, perfect West Coast beat. Nate Dogg does a great job singing on here. Corrupt is on here from the Dog Pound, which there's not too many times that he interacts with Dr. Dre these days, but Dr. Dre was noticeably absent, and in his place we got Hitman. But that was a pretty big disappointment, just because this beat feels like a perfect song to have Dr. Dre on. Like, it probably would have been one of Dr. Dre's biggest songs, and it basically is, minus the fact that Dre himself is not on it. If you think of songs like Still Dre, Forgot About Dre, The Next Episode, those type records, some of the biggest records from 2001, this very much, if Dr. Dre had just put a hook on, well, actually, I think it did have a hook. That's the thing. It had a pretty solid hook on there. If Dr. Dre had just been on the song, this would have been the perfect 4th single, and I could have seen this song being on the radio and being played often. Really, Dr. Dre never really had any songs that he performed with Nate Dogg, apart from that there's like this one song like These Nuts off of the Chronic, but this would have been a brilliant song, and it was just a missed opportunity. Number 3 is Always Into Something.
Born the motherfucking DRE serving a death wish, so I'ma hit you like this. Early in the morning, hop into the B&Z. I got 44 ways of getting paid.
Now, if you don't know about this song, it basically it's from NWA's final album, Niggas for Life, and it's kind of a surprise that you may think who I'm gonna pick on this. So, Always Into Something felt like a song off the Chronic. It has Dr. Dre on there, and I think MC Ren or something, one of those guys. But the thing about it is, it did not have Eazy-E, and this felt like the perfect type song for Eazy-E to be on. It was vintage West Coast, great sample on the song, felt completely California, but Eazy-E, one of the pioneers of gangsta rap, was nowhere to be found. And considering some of the songs that he had been on, like Real Motherfucking G's and the rest of like Easy Does It, I forget some of the songs that he was on. I know Eazy-E, but not like as well as I used to. So it's just kind of, I did notice that he definitely needed to be on this song, Always Into Something. It just felt like it was something right up his alley. I mean, really, it feels more like a Dr. Dre song. The more you listen to this song, the more it kind of feels like a Dr. Dre song. But Eazy-E definitely could have made this song his own if he had just popped up on there. Perfect song for him. Number 4, I Need You Tonight off of the Junior Mafia album.
Right. Here to put it on you fools trying to run up in.
Now, the thing about all the singles from the Junior Mafia album, Lil' Kim is on all 3 of the singles. She's on I forget what the first single is, but she's on, I might as well just look that up. I'm just gonna, normally I would know these songs, but I just have a lot kind of going on in my head right now, so I'm just kind of, give me loading, folks. This is loading. But yeah, Play His Anthem had Lil Kim on there. Get Money, you know, Fuck Bitches, Get Money, that had Biggie and Lil Kim on there. Play His Anthem also had Biggie, but the second single, which I don't know how many folks know about, it's kind of under promoted and kind of under talked about, but it was a brilliant song. I mean, really, I've listened to it for the past good while, and it has Lil Kim on the song. She does a pretty good job, but I think this song would have catapulted way higher and been like a very secret hit for these guys if Biggie had just been on the song. Now, obviously, I know why he wasn't on the song was to give the rest of Junior Mafia an opportunity to shine, but this song gave me vibes of like the One More Chance remix, and it also gave me vibes of like Big Papa in a lot of ways. It's just one of those songs that's kind of flirty, kind of big relationship type thing that like you heard throughout the 90s, some of those just hammy kind of songs that just had an overt amount of emotion. But this was a brilliant song, great hook. Lil Kim did a great job. She's kind of a tease on the song, but I know Biggie would have killed the song had he done a verse on there. Just a complete shame that he did not step up and just decide to be on all the singles. I mean, he was on 4 songs on here, but I would have traded like Oh My Lord or the other one. Yeah, I would have traded like his verse on Oh My Lord for him being on I Need You Tonight. Complete waste of a chance to have Biggie. And then number 5, whole situation about number 5, I was really kind of tongue-tied with trying to figure out what song number 5 needed to be. I had to really go back into my catalog to figure it out, but Scarface dropped an album called My Homies. It's a double album.
Couldn't be, but that was just the way we used to G it. One of the wrong.
And if you think that that's a lot of Scarface, the situation about it is Scarface is probably on half or less than half of the songs on My Homie. So it's a great album, has some real good cuts on there, but Scarface is not on enough of the good ones. And one song that I remember I wish he would have been on is Too Real. So this has UGK on there, which means Bun B and Pimp C are on the song, and has a great hook, great beat. Feels like vintage Texas and dirty South music from the 90s, but Scarface is nowhere to be found. And it's a shame because this is on the first disc, and I didn't understand the concept as to why Scarface just didn't appear on it. He missed a gigantic opportunity. Felt like one of the best album cuts from that album, and almost could have been a single. I mean, there were the thing about My Homies was all three of the singles were very low key and didn't explode the way that they needed to. But this definitely probably could have even had a music video to it. I would have taken it. It would have been real solid. It's a pretty gigantic disappointment that that didn't happen. So Scarface, you needed to be on more songs from My Homies. I mean, you kind of just took the lay and low approach, and there were some songs that it's just like, damn, he would have made those songs so much better, because some of the people that were on those songs were not nearly big enough to to represent the girth of that project. But yeah, so that's kind of the thing. Those are some ones. This happens often, but there are some musicians like Tech Nine and Lil Wayne, when they do group albums, they will be on all the songs just to make sure that that doesn't happen. In some cases, every great now and then I can handle, like with Pistol with Eminem, I can understand not being on there just because, you really get that feeling of like, damn. But with someone like Dr. Dre or someone like other folks that just purposely do this sort of thing often, it's not acceptable. But here's just a few examples where you can know that.